heads for the pits is the local hero from Maryland, Michael Vaughters in the black Stallion Ford. All kinds of body panel damage, and Vaughters knows it. The crowd goes wild, but he has serious front-end differential damage, and he knows it. He's waving to the official, signifying he's okay. And obviously, the flat white front tire won't make him any happier about the situation. Vaughters, with a home-built machine that he created himself 3 seasons ago, has done extremely well. Look at the replay and pay close attention to his white helmet. Unbelievable hit that qualifies number 1 at 2.25 seconds. Chris Chapman has him.
Why do you continue to come out here on these qualifying runs and tear this truck up?
Well, like I said, the truck's all experimental, and we're just trying to work the bugs out. And we got to, we want to work fast because the sport's progressing faster and faster. The trucks are going faster and faster, and we want to try and get a jump on everybody.
Did it make you a little bit nervous when you came down? It looked like you were getting ready to go end over end.
Well, these tires are a new, are lightweight and a lightweight wheel, and I wasn't really sure what happened. I just knew to stay in the gas or I'm going to end up on my lid.
Well, I'll let you get back to work. Good luck with it. If you can get it back together, and we'll see you later tonight.
Thanks a lot.
It will be amazing if he can repair that damage and return for the continuation of this event. But now it's time. It was only 6 days after the crash we featured last week that Ron Lithgow went to Lancaster Speedway in Buffalo, New York to meet Andy Brass and Bigfoot. Lithgow's USA 1 Chevrolet won the match in a bouncing final, but something went away at the finish line area, and Lithgow, for the second time in a week, found himself upside down. Luckily, for the second time in a week, Lithgow got out of this uninjured, but still it ranks as one of the wildest 7-day periods ever for any driver. That's this week's Crunch of the Week. When Super Trax returns, we'll continue with Monster Truck Championship battles, Super Modified Mud Racing, and Stuntman great Brian Carson. That wild ride has Michael Vaughters, currently the #1 qualifier, thrashing in the pit area just to get ready to continue in eliminations. Meanwhile, here at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, we've got more qualifying to come. How about a 1968 Ford Mustang Monster Machine? It's the Pony Express of Anthony Fortier.
Anthony, why did you take a car and turn it into a truck of sorts?
Well, we started looking around. There were more trucks out there than anything else. We were looking to make something a little different, build something that would catch the eye of more people, and we figured we'd start off from the ground up. When we came time for a body, we looked around, we found the Mustang laying around, and started putting it together, started looking real nice, so we kept going. A lot of people liked it around the neighborhood, so we just kept building. It came to be what it is right now. The Mustang's a little bit higher in height, and it's a lot shorter in wheelbase. Makes it real hard to handle. The wheelbase is on, it's very short, so you can get out of control very easy.
And one would certainly think that the driver is much farther back on the chassis than he would be in a truck. Fortier leaves the starting line. The Mustang on a bouncing shutdown ride will qualify for this field. The elapsed time, 3.25 seconds. That'll be good for the #3 spot right now. The stiff chassis, you can see, gives him quite a bounce down to the finish line when that thing returns to earth. Fortier will head back to the pit area to get ready for eliminations. Meanwhile, it's the Star Monster of Dan Tesori. And Tesori comes up with a decent run, 3.18 seconds. That will put him in the number 3 spot in this field with one of the best-looking showpieces in this competition. As the Starbuster heads back for the pit area, it will be the crowd favorite. The green 1950 Chevrolet of Dennis Anderson, driven by Brother Les, the grave digger. A little sideways at the finish line, but that run looked just as strong as some of the others we've seen. The elapsed time, 3.13 seconds. That will put Les Anderson, number 3 in the field. So, qualifying ends with the top 7 machines led by the Black Stallion of Michael Waters at 2.25 seconds, just slightly ahead of the First Blood Ford, the all-conquering Rob Fuchs at 2:65. Can the Black Stallion make it back for elimination when Super Trax returns? We'll continue with Monster Truck Championship battles. Welcome back to the Capitol Center at Landover, Maryland, and we are just about ready for the first round of side-by-side competition. Qualifying is completed, and the big story is that Michael Waters has repaired the Black Stallion Ford. The number 1 qualifier will be back in the first round of eliminations. But first up, it'll be the incredible Ford Mustang called Pony Express of Anthony Fortier. He'll be up against the dominant force in U.S. Hot Rod Association monster truck racing this year, Rob Fuchs in the First Blood Ford. They leave the line, and at the finish line, it's a full truck length advantage for the bright red Ford F-350 from Illinois. On the replay, they leave the starting line evenly, but that's the only place where Fuchs was not in total control. He'll advance to round number 2 easily on the strength of that kind of performance. Meanwhile, back on the starting line, the crowd favorite lines up. The North Carolina-based 1950 Chevrolet called Gravedigger that has proven to be one of the most popular machines in the history of the category. He'll be up against Norman Grogan and the Kid Stuff Chevrolet. Neither machine really being flat-footed through this course, but certainly Les Anderson took it handily. They left the starting line together, but as you can see at the finish line, it was more than a full truck length over the bright red Chevrolet in the near lane. Les Anderson cruises back to the pits to prepare for the semifinal round. The crowd, as always, going crazy for the green machine, but now it'll be Mike Beeler in the near lane in the wrecker, taking on the Star Monster of Dan Tesori. Finish line. I was about to say that the GMC looked like it had the advantage, but an incredible come from behind effort by Beeler made this one incredibly close. Unbelievable. The Star Monster a little sideways in the far lane gets the win by 6 inches. Man, you could see Beeler in the far lane come around right at the finish line. The flash bulbs reflecting off everything in the interior, and there's the victor. Tesori heads for the pit area with a semifinal round berth. Now, Michael Vaughters gets a bye run in the first round. He will advance to the semifinals, and he's in tough company with First Blood, Gravedigger, and Star Monster ready as well. When we come back, we'll continue with... We're back at the Capitol Center at Landover, Maryland, as we get ready for the semifinal round of this U.S. Hobbit Association Championship Monster Truck Challenge Series event. But look at the battle we've got. The dominant force in our series this year. Rob Fusion, the First Blood Ford, takes on the #1 qualifier who's come back from that thrash, the Black Stallion Ford of Michael Vaughters. Close race, and nobody will be able to call that one without an instant replay. We'll look at the whole race in slow motion. You see a big hole shot by Vaughters of the Black Stallion, almost a full truck length, but it nosedives, and here comes First Blood. Indeed, it looks like Rob Fuchs may have gotten there first, but believe it or not, we're getting the word from the U.S. Hobbit Association officials that their video replay camera says that it was a dead heat. The U.S. Hobbit Association officials have declared it a dead heat. Both trucks are now back up on the line. Rob Fuchs realigning the First Blood Ford. Michael Vaughters has had a nightmare of an evening so far. Staged and ready for the rerun of a dead heat. Unbelievable! Another finish too close to call. The rerun of a dead heat is another side-by-side dash. You can see a blown right front tire for Vaughters. Possibly more damage as the truck was completely sideways. Rob Fuchs heading back to the pits. We'll look at the replay. Freezing it at the finish line. Again, it's anybody's call. Look at this angle of Michael Vaughters actually driving into the retaining rail. But the official word comes up. First Blood is the winner. Unbelievable. That will bring up the other half of the semifinals. The Star Monster takes on the Gravedigger. The winner will meet the most dominant racer at the U.S. Hobbit Association Trail this year, First Blood. Staged and waiting for the green light. The whole shot goes to the Star Monster. Another race that is literally side by side at the finish line. Absolutely incredible racing here at the Capitol Center. The Star Monster wins it on the replay. You can see the machine leaves the starting line perfectly. The margin of victory was the margin of the whole shot off the starting line. Probably the most incredible semifinal round we have ever seen will give us a Ford and Chevy final. The Star Monster Chevy takes on the First Blood Ford. It can't get much wilder than it's already been. In Tampa, Florida, the crowd is anxiously awaiting the arrival of a true legend in Hollywood. The one and only Brian Carson, a stuntman who knows no peer when it comes to facing sheer terror in some of the most fearful stunts ever created. Carson's attempt here at Tampa will be to hurl a full-body passenger car into this pyramid of metal. Vans, full-size cars, small cars, all stacked one on top of the other. with the impact point occurring 40 feet off the ground. An early model Chevy Chevelle is Carson's vehicle of choice. But as long as the car has some serious weight behind it, Carson really doesn't care what he's driving, because the one thing that separates Brian Carson's attempts from any other in the world of daredevil acts is the fact that he relies on absolutely no safety equipment, with the exception of a lap belt. There is no roll cage inside the car. Outside of his Speed Sport fire suit, indeed, Carson will be utilizing a helmet and nothing else for protection. The passenger side of the car has some foam rubber equipped on the dashboard and the doors. Carson will dive for the floor of that car when he hits the launch ramp. But other than that, there really isn't too much else in there. A rope attached to Carson's side to help him pull himself down onto the floor area just before impact is about all he's got. Now, the biggest difficulty facing him here at Tampa is that his approach to the narrow ramp you see in the background is met by a hard left-hand turn coming out of the Tampa Stadium parking lot. Carson has already expressed his displeasure at the fact that he has to make a turn on dirt at 50 miles an hour in order to line up to make this jump successful. He heads out into the parking lot area and turns around, ready to make his first attempt approach. There you see the left-hand turn on dirt. Now he has to nail the throttle again, trying to keep the car straight. And that could indeed present the biggest single problem he will face here, outside, of course, of sheer survival. The last check of the ramp. The crew signals that they are ready. And Carson now heads out of the Tampa Stadium arena area and heads for the parking lot, where he'll turn around, try and build enough speed to successfully make that left-hand turn on dirt, then punch the throttle again as he heads for the ramps in this early model Chevelle. No roll cage, no special harnesses, just Brian Carson, a helmet and a seat belt. The crowd waiting to hear the car enter Tampa Stadium. Here he comes. Cautiously making the left turn, now punching the throttle. Here he goes. Unbelievable explosion. The car is upside down and on fire with Carson in it. The safety crew's on the scene immediately. You can see fire extinguisher vapor and dust everywhere as they try to put the fire out around the driver. But the fire is actually spreading. All over the impact area, there is fire or smoke from something. The safety crew is literally exhausting their extinguisher supply, trying to keep the flames controlled. There you see Carson, the yellow car in the center of your screen, upside down and burning in the middle of the wreckage. The fires are growing stronger everywhere. Now the Tampa Fire Department is keeping an eye on it. They're ready to back up the track safety crews, who may be outclassed in an extinguisher battle. Meanwhile, the safety crews work to get Carson out of the car. We have not received word yet on his condition. He is out of the car, obviously, and on the ground and appears to be moving. His crew by his side. And Carson is being helped to his feet. He's up. Brian, do you feel like talking at this point? Your big concern is making that left-hand turn on dirt. And you told us that you might not even be able to hit 50 before you made that turn. You're going to have to make up the rest of the 15 miles an hour or so between there and the ramps. You did it. It was a perfect hit, but I've never seen such a fireball.
I'll tell you, it was hot in there, and all week we didn't know if we could get the speed. And Jimmy Harris and Ushra on base, and they worked with us. And you know, this place is made for the Giants to win football games, not for us car stunts.
It is absolutely incredible that you would even attempt this risk, because quite frankly, you know as well as the rest of us that a lot of people said you're a fool, and this is one you're not going to get out of. It can't be done, yet you insisted on trying it. Why?
Well, there's a lot of people in this business, and they say they're going to do this and that, and all you can do is keep your word and try to live up to it. I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen, and I think we got a hell of a wreck here. All I can say is God bless you, Tampa Bay. God bless the USA. Thank you.
Carson, simply unbelievable. But the action's far from... We've had some of the most incredibly rough racing and close racing imaginable. The final round is on the line. Ford and Chevy's First Blood and Star Monster. And the final round ends up being a blowout. Rob Bush and the First Blood Ford, with a tremendous advantage at the finish line, wins yet again in the 1991 U.S. Off-Road Association Camel World Championship Series. On the replay, the whole shot may have been pretty much dead even, but the finish line was anything but. The big red F-350 from Illinois takes another victory. '91 has certainly turned out to be this young man's year. But the action's far from over. Stay with us. Rob Bush and the First Blood Ford, with a tremendous advantage at the finish line, wins yet again. After an incredible 1989 season in which he was voted U.S. Off-Road Association Rookie of the Year, he came back in 1990 to finish in the top 5. And you have to wonder if this young man doesn't have his sights set squarely on the 1991 World Championship.
Must go out to Rob Hughes, driver of First Blood, who is taking win after win in the 1991 season. What are you doing to make it run so great?
All the credit's not mine at all, but a lot of it goes to people that help, Mike, Tim, Motion Dynamics are doing the motor. That's the biggest reason that it's running that good. And, you know, accurate transmissions, they've got a train that's holding up really well this season. This last one was kind of iffy. I lost a contact in one of the runs with Black Stallion, the first run, and I had to run him again. And since that run, it's really hard to focus with one eye.
Focusing you needed to do. Star Monster was really running good. Did you think that you might have to put a little extra something into it to beat him?
No, I wasn't too worried about him. I was more worried about getting by Black Stallion. He was running really well this weekend.
Well, good luck in future runs, Rob.
Thank you very much.
Rob Bush in the winner's circle again.
Thank you, Chris. And here's another look at the winner here in Tampa with this incredible supercharged Fiat Coupe. Ron Smith on the Gold Fever's run to victory. Man, a rough landing, but at 1.91 seconds, it was worth it as he wins his first national event championship of the year, and now may forsake a rough season start for a bid at a world championship. 2 weeks ago.
I'm Chris Chapman. Good night and good trucking.
Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time on Super Trax.